Hello, welcome to Peace News Now. Drop in and opt out. You're listening to the Daily Peace with Derek J, your 5-minute update on the growing peaceful resistance around the globe. Today is Thursday, December 13th, 2012. I'm your host, Derek J. Let's talk about peace. The American Civil Liberties Union and Yale Law School's Lowenstein International Human Rights Clinic today filed a petition against the United States with the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights for the unlawful detention and torture of Jose Padilla, a U.S. citizen whom the United States detained and interrogated for 4 years. The petition was filed by Padilla's mother, Estela Lebron, on her own and on her son's behalf. Padilla and Lebron had previously filed federal lawsuits, since dismissed, against current and former government officials for their roles in Padilla's torture and other abuse. The petition is an international complaint asking the IACHR, which is an independent human rights body of the Organization of American States, to conduct a full investigation into the human rights violations suffered by Padilla, to find out that his mistreatment violated the American Declaration of the Rights and Duties of Man, and to recommend that the United States publicly acknowledge the violations and apologize for its unlawful conduct. The U.S. justice system denied a day in court to a U.S. citizen who was arrested and then tortured on U.S. soil by his own government, said Stephen Watt, senior staff attorney with the ACLU Human Rights Program. The U.S. has historically been a leader in ensuring access to justice for human rights violations around the world, but it has effectively closed the courtroom door to all victims and survivors of the Bush administration's torture regime. Denied redress in U.S. courts, torture survivors like Padilla are now left with no choice but to turn to international justice. In 2002, President Bush declared Padilla an enemy combatant and ordered him to be placed in military custody. U.S. officials seized Padilla from the civilian jail in New York and secretly transported him to the Naval Consolidated Brig in Charleston, South Carolina, where they held him for 43 months without charge. Interrogators subjected Padilla to torture and other egregious forms of abuse, including forcing him into stress positions for hours on end, punching him, depriving him of sleep, and threatening him with further torture, extraordinary rendition, and death. For more than a decade, Estela Lebron has lived with the terrible knowledge that her own government tortured her son, but there has never been any official acknowledgement, let alone an apology, said Elena Varvaloucas, a student with Yale Lowstein's clinic who worked on preparing the petition. The pain and indignity of that betrayal continue to this day. For the first 21 months of his captivity, Padilla was held incommunicado, without access to lawyers and his family. No human being deserves what happened to our family, and I will continue to work for my son and for justice as long as I'm breathing. As a mother, I want to be sure that this never happens to anyone else, said Lebron. This petition may be my last chance. Today's petition, filed with the IACHR, is available in this episode's show notes. What's happening in the Liberty community? Find out at peacenewsnow.com/events, or just click the Events Calendar tab on the main page. There, you'll get plugged in with various different Liberty community calendars in one place. Don't see your event? Add it by clicking the Contact tab or by emailing me at contact@peacenewsnow.com. Wisconsin state government charged farmer Jacob Hirschberger for producing and selling milk without a license and permits. However, only owners of the farm consume the food produced for them by the Hirschberger family. The food is stringently and safely produced just as the owners want their food produced for themselves. Governments have no business in this family neighborhood farm where no food is distributed to the public. The foods the farm have produced have never harmed anyone, and there is no scientific evidence that proves it could harm anyone. The families who own the Hirschberger farm are independent, caring for themselves. They have harmed no one. There are no victims, no crime. They act to protect themselves because governments are not protecting the food supply. In fact, they aid and abet the poisoning of our food supply. Many of the farm owners became farm owners because processed industrial foods made them or their children very ill. Now that they have delicious, health-promoting raw milk and other healthy grown foods, they are no longer ill. There is no better science than that evidence. Support the Hirschbergers and you and your family's rights to healthy food by coming to the trial at Baraboo Courthouse in Sauk County, Wisconsin, the week of January 7th, 2013. It's a jury trial in which the judge is a referee and not the judge of the case. People like you and I on the jury will judge the case. No matter what the law code states, jurors have the right to nullify bad laws. Additionally, you can help support this food rights movement by donating to Right to Choose Healthy Food at rawmilk.org. That's all the time we have for today. Links to these stories can be found in this episode's show notes. For more peaceful news reports like this one, subscribe to this podcast and visit our website at peacenewsnow.com. If you've got a story you'd like to share, you can submit your own show content right from the website. Remember to connect with PNN on social networks and send your love mail to contact@peacenewsnow.com. For the Daily Peace and Peace News Now, I'm Derek J. Peace.